It's your boy Danny. I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna play some Spider-Man. Got some music playing in the background. I went to a Twitch event yesterday, all day hanging out. Pretty much helping out with the video game community. That's what we do best out here in Orlando. Checking out our gaming community. Twitch supported, meeting new podcasters out there for Twitch. Had free food, free drinks, free everything, free prizes. People from Florida Mayhem represented out there from Overwatch, talking about Overwatch team and Battlefield teams and all that stuff going on. But I will tell you that you gotta go to those Twitch meetups in your city, in your town, in your state, wherever they are, meet them up. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with this title. Technically, Sony Disney MCU actually killed Spider-Man a long time ago. You know why they killed Spider-Man? Because, let's be honest, from Spider-Man 1 and 2 from the Tobey Maguire series was pretty good. And then the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Oh yeah, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 was crap. The Tobey Maguire 1 and 2 was pretty much the most fun-loving movie you could watch before the MCU Disney collaboration with Sony. It's amazing that, you know, it's been, what, over 10 years we had Spider-Man movies, different style, different actors. Man, it's just weird that, you know, the whole thing that happened this past week of Spider-Man going back to Sony, maybe they'll go ahead and work another deal in coming weeks, coming months, who knows. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you cannot say that Disney was right or wrong. And Sony is right or wrong. They both messed up. Honestly, Sony is pretty much making a lot of money off of Far Away. And yes, MCU Disney wants some of that money, but you have to remember, if it wasn't for MCU Disney, you won't have the relaunch of this Spider-Man Tom Holland out there without them. Plus, people don't know that Sony is the one who wrote most of Far Away and Homecoming movies. Sony is the one who pretty much wrote the script. They went ahead and, you know, talked to others to help them out. Besides having Disney and MCU edited, because they had to make it fit for their universe, their style, because they needed Tony Stark and Nick Fury. They wanted to have Iron Man, they wanted Captain America in it, so they had to do it a certain way. But my thing is that we didn't have an official, definite, true, legit Spider-Man yet. Since Sony, even Tobey Maguire forgot to put in Gwen Stacy and all these different characters. Yes, they had Harry, you had Osborn, Harry's father, you had all these characters. But the lack of Kingpin showing up in the movies and other characters. And I feel like the Tobey Maguire movies were fun and loving, but at the same time it was pretty much rushed having him right out of high school and saying, oh, I'm Spider-Man my second year or my third year. I was like, nah. Even though Spider-Man 2 was great, but then, you know, Spider-Man 3 just failed. It was horrible. Yeah, they went with the same storyline on how you should have Venom included, but the wrong actor, and they rushed everything into that movie, and that's why that movie failed, and that's why they had to do a reboot, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And I have to tell you, that was first one. Once again, was pretty cool, was fun. Introduced Gwen Stacy, I like that. It had a similar story to, I guess, Ninja Turtles. One or the other, they had copied each other, we'll say that for now. But I like, you know, they introduced the Lizard, but I hated that they couldn't give you actual, you know, a Harry and Harry father. You didn't give us, you know, these other characters that showed up. And then they made the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just a total bullshit. You tease Venom, you tease all these different characters, and you didn't really do much with it. You ruined the actual storyline background in that movie. You even ruined Green Goblin Jr. story in that game, in that movie. I was like, damn. Now to the Tom Holland, I like Homecoming a lot because it was like it was a fresh reboot introducing Tom Holland, because he was already in Civil War. And we were anticipating this new Spider-Man movie. Let me tell you this. If you call it Homecoming, You should have had Gwen Stacy in there. You should have had Cindy Moon, who actually portrays later on in the comic Spider-Man comic book Spider-Verse as Silk. You should have had a lot of cool people out there. Oh, it's that. So I think you know, this big deal with Sony, MCU, Disney fallout is basically Disney wanted half of the money. They wanted to renegotiate, bringing in Venom into this MCU. They want to bring all the characters in and work together. And Sony said, no, I'm not going to give you half my money. I can't blame them on that, but at the same time, you forgot, without MCU Disney, you will not be where you at today. And so I'm like, okay, if you go back to Sony, I'm happy you go back to Sony and give us the Spider-Verse. Bring back Tony Maguire. Bring back Andrew Garfield. Mix Tom Holland. You know, give us your version of Spider-Verse. I don't know if they're allowed to bring in all these different characters besides those 3 Spider-Man. Could they bring in Miles? Could they bring in Spider-Gwen? Is it official or not? Because we don't know exactly the whole story of the first original deal, what they could use or not. It's interesting if, you know, they actually say, you know what, we don't need you, Disney MCU. They probably flop out next 5-10 years from now, and then we get another Spider-Man reboot. And then by then I'll be 45. So I'm thinking, hey, we don't have a legit Spider-Man story in the MCU or Sony yet. I want a movie that have all these actual characters. I want Harry, I want Cindy Moon, I want Gwen Stacy. Give us Mary Jane. I like Michelle Jones, MJ, and Tom Holland. I just feel like they rushed that whole love story so fast going into the second movie. How about, you know, Peter Parker meet a bunch of other group of friends out there beside him. And then you have Ned. I did not like because he ended up finding out the identity of Spider-Man. This is his best friend, and you know Ned's character in the comic books becomes Hobgoblin, so I don't know how they're gonna, you know, change that. I don't know if they're gonna try to say, hey, we got Ned, he's gonna be like that version of Harry from the original Spider-Man movie that came out with Tobey Maguire, you know, that best friend feud, pissing each other off, fighting each other, stuff like that all over again. Feel like they're gonna mix that with all these different characters too. I wasn't really feeling that. And then I love Zendaya. I love Michelle Jones' character. I love everything about her. It's just, man, you just went ahead and throw in, alright, this is our version of MJ. Let's start the love story between these two already. Again, I'm like, come on, let the kid be a kid. Let him be Spider-Man. Let him meet all these different teenage girls as a teenager before we rush into. Let him meet Gwen Stacy. Let him meet Betty. All of them, you know, all these different characters. Do all this stuff that they should have shown in the movie. All these different characters that you've seen in the comic books. That's what you should say. A true meaning of the title called Homecoming. And my other thing is, you still did not mention Ben, Uncle Ben, and I'm annoyed that you keep relying on Tony Stark like he's his father and role model, all that stuff. When really, Parker was struggling to become a Spider-Man in the comic books, and he had nobody helping him. He had a lot of advice from different heroes now and then, but it was not like he always relied on him making his suit and all that stuff. It was like he did it on his own most of the time. So he kind of downgraded his personality, his character, being a stronger Spider-Man in a way. Like, don't get me wrong, though, Homecoming was phenomenal, it was great. But damn, you keep, I need Tony did Stark. Where's Stark? Was Stark, I gotta always impress Tony Stark. Like, no, I don't give a damn about that. But yes, we'll see what happens next. I hope you guys enjoy my podcast about this whole Sony Disney MCU fallout. If you disagree, I don't care. If it's your own opinion, because I saw a few people made a comment when I posted that article about a week ago, or making all these comments. Tell me what you want to see in the future of a Spider-Man movie. How would you orchestrate a different Spider-Man movie? Do you want a Spider-Verse? Do you want to see Spider-Man show up in a Venom movie, as looks like what Sony wants to do? What is your... Give me more. Tell me what you think. Be honest. I don't care if you're mad at me. I'm not going to be mad at your opinions. Go for it. Have a nice day. Peace out.